There's a certain type of person who moves through criticism, provocations, loss, and chaos without breaking. Not because life is easy for them, but because they've learned something essential. Nothing gets in without their permission. They don't react on impulse, don't scramble to explain themselves, and don't lose their balance over every little thing. They're firm when needed, calm by choice, and wise enough to direct their energy only toward what truly matters. But let me be brutally honest with you right now. You're going to recognize a painful pattern in your own life. Any snide remark ruins your mood. A dry text, a look of contempt, or some meaningless inconvenience is enough to completely knock you off your axis. You ruminate, you suffer, and you lose control of your own peace. When this happens, you tell yourself you just feel too much or that you're too intense. But the truth is different, and it's harsh. You're being ruled. And as long as you keep reacting to everything that happens will keep controlling you. In this video, we're not handing out shallow advice. We're building something deeper. Your armor. You're going to learn how to become someone who's bulletproof, not through fake coldness, but through real inner sovereignty. Someone who chooses what they feel, who acts on their own command, and who moves through the world with intention. Stay until the end. Every lesson here is a brick in building the person you've always known you could be. Before the first lesson, do something simple to mark this beginning. Go to the comments and write, "I govern my mind." When you write that, you're sending a direct command to your subconscious. From this moment forward, you're the one taking control of your life. Not events, not people, not chaos. Write it now. Prime govern malas yamin. Let's begin. The first lesson is simple but powerful. The pause is your primary weapon. Most people lose control not because of how serious the problem is, but because of how fast they respond. Many believe that firing back immediately is a sign of strength, when really it's just the reflex of an impulsive mind. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Whoever controls the moment controls the action. Between the stimulus, what was said or done, and the response, there's a gap. In that small space lives your freedom. The fool ignores this gap. The wise person expands it. When you react automatically, you become predictable. And anything predictable can be triggered by anyone who finds the right button. The pause breaks this cycle. It creates an invisible wall that returns authority to you. Seneca warned that nothing is more dangerous than making decisions in anger. The pause isn't fear. It's strategy. It's choosing to act when your mind is clear, not when your blood is hot. Train this. Don't answer loaded messages immediately. Don't fire back an insult on the spot. Initial silence interrupts the reaction and gives you back control over yourself. The second lesson is clear. Visible emotion becomes a control lever. If your emotions are written all over your face, you become an open book. And in hostile environments, being easily read is being vulnerable. The Stoic doesn't eliminate feeling. They just decide whether to give it a stage. Many confuse authenticity with losing control, believing they need to display everything they feel. That's a mistake. Exposed emotion is an unlocked door. Epictetus insisted that the problem isn't the event itself, but the judgment you make about it. Between the impression and the action exists your consent. It's the moment when you agree with the impression and allow it to govern you. When that judgment spills over into your facial expression or tone of voice, you've already surrendered control. The external has beaten the internal. Learn external neutrality. Inside, you process. Outside, you remain unchanged. This isn't arrogance. It's armor. When people can't read your emotional state, they lose the ability to manipulate you. Whoever gets visibly upset puts themselves beneath whoever provoked them. The third lesson is direct. Those who are firm don't over-explain themselves. The constant need to explain everything reeks of fear. Not because explaining is wrong, but because the excess reveals a desperate search for validation. Understand this. Those who have conviction in what they do aren't in a hurry to convince others. When you enter justification mode, the dialogue stops being between equals and becomes a trial where you've placed yourself as the defendant. Epictetus taught that it's better to focus on living correctly than on appearing correct to an audience. Consistency is worth more than any speech. Unstable people talk too much, go in circles, and over-explain the obvious. Firm people are economical with words. They trust their own judgment. The more you talk, the more material you offer to be twisted. The Stoic understands that not everyone deserves access to your reasons. Sometimes firm silence or a short answer ends discussions that could drag on for hours. The fourth lesson is learning to observe without stepping onto the stage. Much of your mental exhaustion comes from emotionally merging with situations that don't belong to you. Most people absorb their environment like a sponge. The Stoic observes like a camera. They record but don't suffer. You see the provocation, but you don't accept it as a gift. You notice someone else's mistake, but you don't let it contaminate your day. Marcus Aurelius practiced this detachment, seeing things as they are, not as the anxious mind insists on painting them. This creates an enormous tactical advantage. While everyone else is blinded by the emotion of the moment, you maintain clarity. Seneca said we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you observe without getting involved, you cut the cord of drama. You participate in life, but you don't dissolve into it. The fifth lesson is understanding that silence is also a power move. There's a popular belief that whoever yells loudest or gets the last word wins. The Stoic knows that often the winner is the one who holds their tongue. Strategic silence unsettles. It doesn't come from submission, but from awareness. There are moments when responding only feeds a fool's ego or prolongs a useless conflict. When you go silent at the right moment, the other person keeps talking alone, revealing their own weakness. Silence communicates without words. It says, "This doesn't deserve my energy." In arguments, while the other person wears themselves out trying to attack, you observe, gather information, and preserve your mind. The Stoic seeks to emerge mentally unscathed, not to win debate trophies. The urge to respond is the ego screaming. The training is in silencing the ego and allowing silence to work in your favor. The sixth lesson is accepting discomfort and refusing drama. Life will inevitably put you in waiting rooms, financial crises, and moments of uncertainty. Most people react with complaining and victimhood. The Stoic reacts with active acceptance. Accepting doesn't mean enjoying suffering. It means understanding that drama doesn't solve the problem. It only increases its weight. Epictetus taught that we don't control what happens, only how we react. Discomfort is the fact. Drama is childish resistance to the fact. Those who learn to endure small tensions without collapsing build mental strength for the big battles. Stop complaining out loud. Stop narrating your misery to people who can't help. The fact already exists. Deal with it. This firm, resolute posture intimidates those who are used to modern emotional fragility. The seventh lesson is understanding that controlling the body is a shortcut to controlling the mind. Many people try to calm down just by thinking, while the body remains in a state of alert. Restless legs, shallow breathing, tense shoulders. The battle is already lost. The ancients knew that body and mind form a single system. If you want to calm the mind, start by calming the body. Marcus Aurelius spoke about composure. There's no point in preaching serenity if your posture broadcasts desperation. When external chaos increases, deliberately slow down. Breathe deeply, drop your shoulders, move more calmly. This sends a direct signal to the brain that everything is under control. A firm posture builds a firm mind. Those who master their own breathing rarely lose their reason. The eighth lesson is abandoning the illusion that everything revolves around you. One of the biggest generators of hurt is ego. Believing that comment, that look, or that rude behavior were personal attacks directed at you. Most of the time, people act driven by their own fear, ignorance, or internal chaos, not because of you. The Stoic separates the other person's behavior from their own worth. When you understand that someone else's rudeness says more about who practices it than about you, the weight disappears. Not taking everything personally is liberating. Seneca said that living imprisoned by others' opinions is one of the lowest forms of slavery. When you remove ego from the center, arrows pass through without wounding. You become an impossible target because you're no longer there to receive the blow. The ninth lesson is having principles of stone and tactics of water. Emotionally stable people are predictable in values, but unpredictable in reactions. This generates respect. Those without principles live dancing to other people's music. Those with principles have an axis. Stoic freedom is born from clarity about what's non-negotiable for you. Your values don't change, but your way of acting adapts according to the situation. Sometimes you advance. Other times you retreat. Sometimes you ignore. The unstable person explodes every time someone presses the same button. The Stoic doesn't leave buttons exposed. They act from wisdom, not reflex. This confuses those trying to manipulate you, because you don't follow the script they wrote for you. The 10th lesson is understanding that calm is concentrated power. Don't confuse calm with slowness or passivity. The Stoic's calm is like a shooter's aim before the shot. It's contained energy, ready to be used with precision. The agitated person wastes everything shouting and reacting. The calm person preserves energy for decisive action. The cold mind doesn't hesitate, it calculates. Marcus Aurelius sought to keep reason firm even when the world seemed to be collapsing. This stability isn't the absence of emotion, it's an excess of focus. Calm protects you from impulsive decisions. It functions as a filter. When you act with serenity, your word carries weight. Your presence fills the room. Those who master themselves naturally influence those around them who are out of control. The 11th lesson is remembering that your attention is your life itself. You don't lose peace because of problems, but because you allow your attention to be fragmented in 1,000 directions. Trying to keep up with everything, respond to everyone, and have an opinion about everything. Your mind collapses. Stoicism is the discipline of attention. Epictetus said that if you don't choose where to look, the world chooses for you, and the world prefers that you look at chaos. A stable mind knows how to ignore. Ignore the gossip, the empty controversy, the useless notification. Gather your mind. Focus is saying no. The more you protect your attention, the less reactive you become. The 12th lesson is understanding that excessive arguing isn't intelligence, it's reactivity. Those who argue about everything aren't seeking truth, they're seeking emotional release. Most conflicts are just ego collisions. The Stoic asks themselves before entering any debate, is this worth my peace? Almost always the answer is no. Seneca warned that long arguments rarely produce wisdom. The desire to have the last word is childish. Maturity is allowing the other person to believe they won while you preserve your energy to build your own life. Don't try to educate those who don't want to learn. Correct yourself and allow others to carry their own mistakes. Those who choose their battles win the war. Those who fight them all die exhausted. When you apply these keys, something changes in your gaze. The world stays chaotic. People stay difficult. But none of that has permission to enter your mind anymore. You've built a filter. You've built a center. If this message made sense to you, write gratitude in the comments. Not for me, but for yourself. To mark that from now on, you react less and govern more. Here we don't run from reality. We learn to master it. Gratitude.